So the GLC was launched back in 2016. Mercedes-Benz had introduced it back then. Well, in 2019, it got a facelift, and in 2021, it got another facelift. Now, what we are driving today is the all-new 2023 Mercedes-Benz GLC 300. Hi guys, and welcome to Drive Spark. I'm Promeet, and let's quickly start this video and I'll tell you everything you need to know about this all-new SUV. So let's start talking about the front end of the car. Now, the very first thing you will notice are the headlamp unit. Now, those are completely LED headlamp unit, and you do not get projectors somehow, but you get reflectors. Again, you get the DRLs on top that convert into the dynamic indicators. You have the high beam, low beam, and the cornering light that is placed inside one unit, and you do not get fog lights. Actually, the light is pretty bright. The visibility from the light is very nice, so you do not need fog lights with that. But that one headlamp cluster does all the job. Well, if you see at the front, you also get a camera, so that's part of the 360-degree camera feature that this car has. You have cameras all around. You get all new grille, you get a new bumper, you get a lot of chrome on the grille, on the lower part of the bumper, and also you can see you get hood lines and pieces that actually make the car look very muscular from the front end. Now, moving on to the side profile, you will notice that there is body cladding present all over that enhances the muscular look of the car. And apart from that, you have these beautiful dual tone 5-spoke alloy wheels. These are 19 inches and the tire profile is 235/55 R19, and it's relatively low. It's not a high tire profile. Otherwise, an SUV carries maybe a 60 profile or a 65 profile. But the ride is comfortable. We'll be telling you about the ride when obviously we will be talking about the engine. You also get a side footstep that helps you get in and out of the vehicle pretty easily, because you have around little more than 200 mm of ground clearance. So, I mean, yeah, climbing onto the vehicle requires some amount of effort. So the side step actually reduces that effort. Well, you get body colored door handles, so it does not get any request sensor. You have to physically take the key out, unlock the car, and then only you can enter the car. You also get body colored ORVMs. You get dynamic indicators on that as well. Plus, you get obviously cameras on both the ORVM, so that's a part of the 360-degree camera feature. You get roof rails, but surprisingly, you do not get any antenna. So usually you get a shark fin antenna, but that is missing in the car. Well, other than that, that actually sums up the side profile of the car. Now let's move on to the rear end. So the rear end features these wrapped around tail lights. Again, a full LED unit. Looks absolutely fantastic. It's a new tail light. You also get a piano black finish that connects both the tail lights. You also have adaptive guidelines that help you park the car very easily at tight parking spaces with the help of the rear view camera. And obviously you have sensors all over the car that gets activated whenever you are in a crowded place. But you have to switch it off if you're getting irritated with that, because from bumper to bumper traffic, you will have the beeps coming in from all angles. Actually, the beep starts coming in from every angle for wherever you are. So if someone, if the car is detecting that someone is on the right side or the left side or the rear right and left, so those speakers will only get activated, and you will be able to understand that okay, someone is on there. But obviously there will be a display on the screen, but again, as I mentioned, if you want to turn that off, every time you turn the car off and you switch it back on, that will be activated. That will not turn off permanently. So you have to manually turn it off every time you want to get rid of that. And you also get the Mercedes logo. So the rear view camera is very neatly integrated where the request sensor is for the boot. So every time you hit reverse, the shutter opens and the camera pops out. So that's basically to prevent the camera from getting dirty on a rainy day. Again, very neatly it's integrated over there. And you have the badging, you have the GLC 300 badging, you have the 4Matic badging, and you also have the Mercedes logo right in the center. Well, there's some amount of chrome present on the rear end as well. So on the lower part of the bumper, you get chrome. You actually get two exhaust tips, as you see, but they are fake exhaust tip. The exhaust is present underneath the car, but that is just for the aesthetic looks. And the GLC gets a 620 liter of boot space, which is actually enormous for luggage for 5 people. And you also get an electric tailgate that opens from 3 ways. You can either operate it from your remote. There is a button over here, and there is a request sensor on the boot. So at 3 ways you can open the electric tailgate. So once you're on the inside, you'll feel that the cabin is really spacious. You also have a big panoramic sunroof. You have a 2-pane sunroof. Obviously, only the first part opens up. But over here, what's new is this dashboard layout. So you have new AC vents. You have this new touchscreen infotainment system that is again an 11.5-inch. That is actually very nice. It's very sensitive. There is no lag to it. You have an instrument cluster that is again fully digital. So you can customize the instrument cluster in various ways. Obviously, you can customize the tachometer, the speedometer, and the center screen as well. So you can have the navigation on the screen on either sides. I mean, there are a ton of ways, as I mentioned, you can customize the screen. Well, the steering wheel is not a flat bottom. Again, everything is soft touch material over here. The dashboard, the doors, the pads, the door pads, the armrest, everything is painted in soft touch material. The steering wheel is wrapped in leather. Obviously, you have stereo mounted controls on either sides. So the left hand side controls this infotainment system, and the right hand side controls your cruise control and will also help you navigate through this instrument cluster. Another thing that I would like to mention is that this all new GLC features the brand new MBUX system. And with that, you can actually connect your phone through the Mercedes Me app, and you can explore a lot of features through that. For example, you can, if your phone is connected to the car, then you can start the car from outside without even getting hold of the key. If on a hot day your car is parked somewhere outside, you can turn on the AC, and by the time you reach your car, obviously your cabin will be absolutely cool and chill. And there's one more very interesting feature that I would like to mention, is that this off-roader actually has a thing called a transparent bonnet mode. Basically, the 360-degree camera helps, especially the front parking camera, so that stitches the image, and once you hit the off-road mode and you hit the camera, so it'll basically show a transparent bonnet over here, and it'll keep on stitching the image and continuously show you what's going on underneath the car. So I mean, that's a really good feature when you're doing off-roading, especially if there are boulders, if there are rocks, if there's some broken tarmac. So yeah, that works really nice. So as you can see on the screen right now, that this camera is working and how it's working. So obviously, if you turn the wheel left or right, the wheel will also turn left and right, and it will show you everything that's going underneath the bonnet. Now, talking about the seats actually really comfortable. They have good under thigh support, good side bowstring. It also has a lumbar adjust. You get memory functions for both the passenger and the driver. You also have seat heating options, but you do not have a cool seat option. Well, you can control the seats from here. The lumbar control is right present over here. Well, there's a lot of soft touch material on the door as well. You have this brushed aluminium finish, and you have a Burmester sound system that sounds fantastic. You have a 15 speaker setup, and it is just mesmerizing. Overall, the front end actually feels very nice to be in. It's a very driver friendly car. You sit up high and there's a lot of visibility. Plus, these pillars over here are really narrow, so you do not have a blind spot. And yeah, so that actually sums up the front end. Now, talking about the rear seats. So the rear seats, actually this seat, what you see over here, when it was adjusted according to my height, for reference I'm 6'1", and when I sat behind, so I noticed that, I mean, there is slightly less knee room, but leg room and under thigh support and headroom is pretty decent over there. But I think the knee room had taken a toss, because obviously my knee was just about to touch. So if I slightly slant a little forward and I sit, so my legs were definitely touching the front seat. And you also have this big panoramic sunroof, as I mentioned, that stretches all the way to the back seat, and you can have a beautiful view of the sky, or especially during a rainy season. You can enjoy it from the rear seat as well. And the rear seats have 3 headrests. All 3 are adjustable. You also have a center armrest. You have a AC over there. You have a blower, and you have a blower motor that controls the speed, not the temperature. So you have 2-zone climate control over here. You do not get the 3-zone climate control. Plus, you also get manual shades for privacy at the rear. So now let's start talking about the engine options on this all new GLC. So what we are driving currently is the Mercedes-Benz GLC 300, which is the petrol version. You also get a diesel version, that is the GLC 220D. Now let's talk about some power figures. So this is powered by, actually both the engines, the diesel and the petrol, is powered by 2-liter turbocharged engine. So the petrol engine produces around 258 bhp, and close to 400 Nm of peak torque. So there is also a diesel engine, which is the GLC 220D, and that is also powered by a 2-liter turbocharged diesel engine, and that pumps out 197 bhp of power and 440 Nm of peak torque. Plus you have an integrated starter generator that will assist you with plus 200 Nm of torque on both the motors when you need it. So obviously that integrated starter generator also helps in a lot of things apart from this, but its main thing is to assist you and to give you more torque when and where it is required. So the steering wheel of the car, obviously it's very nice. It's got a good grip to it, it's got a good feel to it, and it actually weighs up as you change the modes. So as far as the modes go, there are a couple of modes. You have eco, you have normal, you have sport, and you have an individual mode as well where you can configure everything. So as you go on, so when you're on eco mode, the steering wheel is completely light and the throttle response has a lot of lag to it. Well, the best mode is obviously city or the normal mode or the comfort mode, but if you are driving on sports mode, then you'll realize that the throttle response is really crisp, and yeah, the steering wheel weighs up significantly. Heavy steering wheel is any day better than a light steering wheel, because I mean the light steering wheel is kind of little risky. I mean at higher speeds, I think what I could feel is that the steering wheel was weighing up a little bit, so that's a really good thing. Now couple that with the suspension. The suspension setup is rather on the softer side. It has electronic dampers, which obviously stiffens or hardens the dampening as you change the mode. So on eco mode, the damping will be very soft. On sport mode, the damping will be slightly harder. So when you're cornering, there will be less amount of body roll, because the dampers have hardened up. So, and when you're driving on comfort mode, which is what we recommend you to drive in, so that will be the mode that you will be using on your regular city drives. And on comfort mode also, if you flow the car, it will take very less time and it will just shoot ahead. So the safety features on this car actually includes 7 airbags, and you have other features such as hill hold assist, traction control, ABS, and electronic stability control, hill descent. And you also get a camera over here which helps in the lane keep assist, the blind spot monitoring, and you have a ton of safety features in the car. Especially you get 7 airbags. So yeah, I mean it's a really safe cabin. So yeah guys, that actually sums up the all new Mercedes-Benz GLC 300. And if you have any queries about this SUV, please mention in the comment section and we will get back to you about that. Until then, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, share and subscribe to all our social media channels. I'm Promeet signing out. See you next time. Thank you so much for watching. Take care, be safe and drive safe.